Can't hear you, Richard.
Hang on. Oh, that's better. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
That's better, yes.
Good stuff. We are here. We are back. Sorry about that. I don't know what was happening there. I mean, Mike was just deciding it didn't want to work. Anyway, we are back. It is going to be a busy show, of course, looking back on the Leicester win, looking ahead to Chelsea, of course, this weekend, and Bayern Munich as well in the Champions League. And, of course, joining us, as always, it is the Lord himself, Lord Andreas. How are you this week, my friend?
Not bad at all. Good evening, Richard. Good evening to all our viewers. Yeah, glad to be back on the show and looking forward to all the subjects we have to discuss.
Yes, it's been a better week. The WSL's been back, so that's good. The international break's over. We do like it when we can watch the team play, and that was good as well, of course. And it wasn't a bad way to get back into the swing of it, was it? So, of course, Stina Blackstenius back in the starting lineup, and she does what she does best, of course. 2 goals and sort of an assist, I suppose we can give it to her for the first goal. And we looked, I thought, a much better team all round on Sunday against Leicester. I thought the team shape seemed to be better. It seemed to click a lot better. And certainly that first half, that was much more like the Arsenal that we saw last season, wasn't it? And for most of last season when Rene took over, we played with a bit more freedom. We got the ball forward quicker. We put it into dangerous areas. We scored a lot of goals. We could have scored a few more. And that was more like the sort of Arsenal we've been waiting to see this season. We haven't seen enough of that team yet. So is this maybe, was the international break, we said, had it come at the right time? Well, the evidence certainly from the first half on Sunday tended to suggest to me it did come at the right time. Everybody's had a reset. Maybe we've had Rene and the coaching staff have maybe had a rethink on certain tweaks to the team. And I thought it worked really well. We looked a really good team in that first half. Yeah, the second half is a bit what it is when you're 3-0 up. It's hard, isn't it, to keep that intensity going. We did drop off a bit, but we did obviously win the game comfortably. And that's the type of performance that we've been waiting for. I mean, Andreas, what did you make of that? Because we looked a totally different team to what we did before the international break, didn't we? Completely different team.
Yeah, I agree. It was one of our better performances this season. In the first half, I'm with you. This is the Arsenal we want to see, and but you have to consider that we scored the first goal after 7 minutes, and this helps, of course. Remember all the other games this season? Yeah, we fell behind against Leicester City, and we took too long to score a goal, and then after 7 minutes, 1-0, we kept the pressure high. We played forward. That's what you said, and what's so important, not only the back passes, but playing forward and trying to create chances. That's what Rene said in the post-match interviews. That for her, it's important. We created a lot of chances, and we had problems to create much in the games before. Yes, I totally agree. We created a lot. The second, after, was it 25 minutes or so, it was an own goal. Yes, but it was a forced own goal. In the statistics, it will be an own goal, but it was created by our players and unfortunate by the Leicester defender. And then after 30 minutes, the third goal, of course, then if you lead 3-0 against a team like Leicester, normally the game is brought to bed, and you can take one gear down or two gears down in the second half. Yeah, the early goals help, but I agree that we looked different and we tried it in a different way as in the games before, and that's important. And we can't judge the second half. As I said, we were 3-0 up. It's okay that we just tried to manage the game with all these important games that are coming in this block. So for me, the first half was very important, and there the early goal helped. But overall, it was a very good performance from the whole team. The tactics seemed to be different, and yeah, we played forward. We created something. That's the most important, and a fully deserved win. It could have been 4 or 5-0 up in the first half. But okay, if you win 4-1 away at Leicester, it's always a good result, and I was very satisfied with the team performance on Sunday.
It was, yeah. I mean, like you said, that first half in particular, that is, I say that's the Arsenal team that I've been to see this season. Actually, it just hasn't, for various different reasons, it hasn't clicked, it hasn't happened, and suddenly it all came into place in that first half, and that was brilliant. Like you said, I knew at half time when it was 3-0 up, I was thinking to myself, this game is probably going to finish 3-0 or maybe 4-0. I thought we might get one more goal, but it was never going to be the same in the second half. And it didn't need to be, did it? At the end of the day, we'd done the job. The game was won. It was just a matter of managing it in the second half and seeing if we could add a goal or two as well. And of course, in the end, we did get the fourth goal as well later on after they'd got one back. But I wasn't, the second half I wasn't particularly bothered about. The first half showed me that this team, with a few little tweaks here and there that Rene did, through the international break, and we looked at a much better side. We looked at a much better attacking side, and it paid off because we I mean, yes, okay, there's no own goal in there, but like you said, it was a great team move, and the third goal was a great team move as well, wasn't it? When for Stina's first goal, and that's what we want to see. We want to see Arsenal moving the ball forward quickly, quick passes, 2-3 passes forward, and suddenly we've got a goal. And that's the one thing we haven't done before this season, really. We've been taking too many touches, too many passes. And, Beth with the assist there, first time pass, that's what she hasn't done enough of. She's always taken extra touch. Not just her, everybody is. And that was a brilliant goal, that third goal. And that's the type of football we were playing last season regularly, wasn't we? One-touch football, moving the ball forward quickly, scoring lots of goals, creating loads of chances. And that was great to see. And I really enjoyed that first half. Probably the most I've enjoyed a first half all season, actually, because it was great football. And in the end, the second half was a bit of a non-event to put a certain degree. But the job was done, and we completed it well in the end. And, it's exactly what we needed. With the run of games we've got coming up, the Leicester game wasn't a free hit really, but it was a good opportunity, wasn't it, to get going again after the break, get the victory, and hopefully get some positives. And there was a lot of positives that we can take forward now for the next few games, which are going to be really tough. And that was the most important thing for me as well. The win we needed, we knew that. We thought it might be a bit scrappy, and as it turned out, it wasn't. It was really, really comfortable, a really good performance, and that can only be a good thing, kind of, for obviously certainly for this week coming up, and even beyond that. Tilma says there, when Arsenal fans boo Millie Bright at the weekend and the Chelsea fans join in. I don't think that's going to happen, is it? But anyway, we'll see. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. John's with us. Hey there, John. Good to see you, my friend. It's good to have you with us. Agneta as well. Yeah, last Sunday, what it was, I did. I ran a long run in the morning. I didn't get back until halfway through the first half, and I just thought it's too late now. So I just watched the game. So I'm sorry about that, but we'll be back on this weekend. Greg's versus well, it's an evening all great to see and hear, just like Barry's song Sound and Vision. Yeah, we've got both Sound and Vision now. Yeah, I mean, Mike was on mute, I think it was. Of course, good to see you from Sweden. I'm not liking this comment very much from LG there. It says, typical Stina performance, scoring after missing a million chances before. I don't know about that. I mean, how many chances does Erling Haaland miss? It doesn't matter how many chances they miss. What matters is how many goals they score. Stina's our top scorer. She's not on the pitch very often. She got a full game on Sunday, but she's not on the pitch enough, and she's our top scorer. So, I don't care if she misses 10 chances. What's important is she's still getting into those good positions. She's making the right run. She's getting on the end of chances, and she does stick them away. She will stick them away. If you give her the chances, she'll score goals. Stick her in the team every week. She'll score goals. And I know that there's not much doubt that Leslie Russo is a much better all-round player. And I'm not going to try and say anything different. But Stina is a better goal scorer. You play Stina in the number 9, she will score more goals than if you play Leslie Russo in the number 9. She will. She's proved it before. But Leslie Russo's, it's Rene finding the way to get Stina and Leslie in the team together. She's done it before. It's worked. It worked against Leicester. Will it work in other games? Will it even happen against Chelsea? We'll find out. We'll talk about that a bit later. But it was a typical Stina performance because she played really well and she scored 2 goals and she was a constant threat to the Leicester defence all game. So it was a typical Stina performance, not because she missed chances, but just her all-round performance. I've always said this, since we signed her, I said she's the women's team's equivalent of Aubameyang when he played for the men's team. Makes fantastic runs into the box, knows where to be. Yes, we'll miss some chances. Of course, everybody does. Haaland misses chances. Messi misses chances. Ronaldo used to miss. Everyone misses chances. But she makes intelligent runs. She pulls defenders about, and she will score goals. You give her the ball in the right areas, and she will score goals. And she's proved that time after time after time. And she'll continue to prove it while she's in the team. And, you know, I was so happy for her because how many games does she start? Very, very rarely does she start a game. Hardly ever. So when I saw the team sheet, I think Stina's got a great chance today to show what she can do. And that's exactly what she did. She got player in the match. 2 goals. Yeah, she could have had a couple more. Absolutely, she could have done. But she did her job that she had to do. And she showed exactly why every single team in this league would have Stina as their technically backup number 9, because that's technically what she is now. Every single team in Europe would have her as their backup number 9. They would. Absolutely, everybody would, and we've got her, so we should be pleased that we've got her. And when she plays, she never lets us down, and I was delighted for her. John says the changes made a big difference. Some were forced on Renee. Yeah, obviously some were, and some she probably decided herself, or her and the coaching team decided themselves, and it worked. Absolutely, it worked. And yes, sometimes you're going to get injuries, and sometimes that actually helps because it forces changes sometimes that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And was that the case there? I don't know. Maybe it was. Obviously, Leia Cadena played in defence. She's not played much either. Another player who doesn't hardly play. Even Jenna Nice-Wonga came on. She even got on the pitch. That's how good that performance was. We were even able to play Jenna Nice-Wonga in the second half. Look at that. That was brilliant, wasn't it? So, you know, it was very positive all round. Obviously, Emily Fox got a rest. Taylor Hyde played right back. She did all right there. Good stuff. It was a good game to make some changes, wasn't it? Because Leicester aren't the strongest team. We know that. But yeah, no, you're right. Some of the changes were false because of the international break and injuries and tiredness and stuff. Some of them I think were deliberate. I think playing Stina and Leslie Russo the way that they did was a deliberate tactic for that game. And yeah, it's good. Top Shelf says, hello all from the Great White North. Lovely stuff. The Great White. I don't know exactly where that will be. The Great White North. What's that? The North Pole. Greenland. Is that where you're from? Are you Father Christmas? But anyway, it's good to see you. And I'm glad that you're here. Greg says they're a needed win, but still a very under par performance. Where is that killing me? See, I don't think it was. I thought the second half was a bit flat, but we'd already done that. I thought the first half, I don't think you could say the first half was under par. I thought the first half was an extremely good performance. And, you know, we scored 3 goals, could have had a few more. And I know the second half, yeah, maybe it was a bit flatter, but we'd got the job done. Gratz Rivers Welly says, hi, how you doing? Yeah, we're very good, my friend. Good to see you. Chelma says, I'm confident the worst Chelsea will come out with is a draw, especially with Thompson resting and both LJ and Germa back. Well, we'll see. We'll talk about the Chelsea game in a bit, and I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Agneta says there, saying hello to Grat and some Swedish stuff there, which is good, isn't it? Which we don't understand, but we don't care. Greg says, the second half worries me. We needed a 90-minute performance. Now, what we needed to do was win the game. We got the game won in the second half, and then it actually gave us the opportunity to make a lot of changes in the second half, give players minutes, rest players, and I thought that was almost the perfect day, really, because yes, it would have been lovely to have gone out in the second half, scored 4 or 5 goals, won 8-9-0, fantastic, but we didn't need to do that, did we? What we needed to do was win, manage the squad properly, give some players a rest, get some players minutes, and I thought it was actually the perfect 90 minutes in many ways, because of how we managed that second half. I wasn't really bothered. In the second half, I'm thinking, I don't really care if we go and score 3 more goals or we don't, and we just sit back and manage the game. And that's what we did. And I was quite happy with that. I wasn't bothered. Top Shelf says that win was great for team spirit. Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly. It was good for everybody. I thought it was good all round. It was just good all round. I really enjoyed that. Grat says, where are we? I think it was great for Stina to score just so that she could get a better self-confidence. Yeah, exactly. But she has to learn to take the shot much sooner, quicker. Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought the first goal she scored, she took first time. The second one, she had to run into the box and steady herself, which she did, and then she finished it into the roof of the net. So yes, there was a couple of times when, yes, I kind of agree. But, she got her 2 goals, and that's what matters, really, isn't it? Joe says Stina scores the important goals. She does. Of course she does. She scores the important goals. She always has done, and she always will do. When she's on the pitch, you know she's going to make a difference. Chelsea says, I've got a feeling there's going to be a red card in the Chelsea-Arsenal match. Well, maybe there will. We'll talk about that in a minute, actually. Greg says, Stina's performance was good. She wasn't offside that much. Well, she was offside less than normal, I suppose. I'll give you that one. Grat says, yeah, Haaland is just the Joker of Man City. Well, he is, yeah, absolutely. He's their Joker. Yeah, he is. No problem. Top Shelf says, Stina finds the back of the twine more often than not. Exactly. She does. Exactly right. LG says that Russo is the better in finishing, but not positioning. But Stina is better in positioning. But that's it. I think Stina makes great runs. If you watch her movement, is fantastic. Her movement in and around the box is much better than Russo's, and I think her finishing is better as well. I do. Russo scores a lot of goals because Russo plays 90 minutes every single week, usually in the number 9 position. So she gets chances. So of course she's going to score lots of goals. But I think she's because of her position and not being quite as natural. She's not a natural goal scorer, Leslie Russo, is she? She's not in the same sense that Stina is. So I think her positioning isn't always where it should be. So it makes her finishing more difficult because she's at different angles where she should be. And sometimes she's got to adjust her body and adjust her feet more. Stina, usually when she gets a chance, she's in the right position to take that chance. She doesn't always score. Of course, nobody scores all their chances. And I kind of agree with you about Stina's positioning. It's brilliant. Her movement in and around the penalty area is fantastic. And I've always said that since she joined us. That's the one thing that she's always been. I think she's the best in the league for movement. Yes, she's not the best striker. She's not the best player. But I think her movement in and around the box is fantastic. And I do think she's a better finisher because she gives herself the opportunity to be a better finisher because she's in a better position. Her body shape's better when the ball reaches her. Sometimes Leslie Russo takes a shot and she's stretching for it or she's whatever it is, you know what I mean? She gets underneath headers and stuff like that. So I don't know. But anyway, it's good to have them both, isn't it? And it's good that they both scored against Leicester. I mean, Andreas, what do you make of that? Do you think that I know we shouldn't really keep comparing Stina and Leslie Russo because they're different type of players, but they play in a similar position. So it's natural to maybe make the comparison. And I think they're so different that they can complement each other. But I mean, I don't know. It's difficult to say who's better at what, but I do think Stina's a better finisher.
I don't want to compare these two players because they are too different. And the better footballer is Leslie Russo. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Stina, yes, was not a typical game for Stina. She was not as much offside as she normally is. But what was typical, she scored her first goal. She scored when she has no time to think. She gets the ball and first touch, and she must do something. She must finish, and then she scores. When she has too much time to think, oh, what should I do? Oh, should I go there or should I try to go against the goalkeeper or shoot? And then she misses the biggest chances. It's typical for Stina. So her second goal was not really typical because there I thought she had a few seconds time to think, and I was astonished that she scored there. But yeah, maybe this was the self-confidence from this game, from being in the starting lineup, for getting the 90 minutes, and then she thought, everything will work today. So it was a good idea to bring both, and this time it worked. But we had other games this season in which the combination Leslie and Stina didn't work. So I wouldn't say it's the solution for every game now. Sometimes it might work. Against Leicester, it worked perfectly, and other things Renee worked too. So it was also good to see Foxy getting a rest after returning Thursday evening or when from US international games. Taylor Hines, very solid player, either left back or right back. And I was astonished to see Laia Codina in the starting lineup. And I think the goal Leicester scored, they wouldn't have scored with Katie Reid in centre back because she's so fast. She would have won this sprint duel against the Leicester striker, and Cody lost this duel. But anyway, we know that every player is important, and so it was good that Cody got her minutes. And but back to your question, Stina was player of the match, and yeah, it's extremely important. We know that she can score the important goals, as our viewer said, but therefore we need her with self-confidence. You can't bring Stina in the 80th minute in an important game when she hasn't played the 3 or 4 games before. So this was a very good decision to give her 90 minutes against Leicester, and yeah, it worked. It worked perfectly with the 2 goals. Overall, I still say Leslie Russo is the better footballer, or yeah, is the better player. But as long as Stina scores so many goals for us, yeah, it's good to have her.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, as I said, I think every team in Europe would have Stina as their second choice striker, if that's what you want to call her. You know, someone like that to come off the bench. You know, if that's how it's going to be. And when she does start games, she does generally score. Most games she starts, she will score. If you start her, she'll get a goal. So yeah, they are very different players, and I do think it is a little bit unfair to compare them. And I think they're only compared because they are in competition usually for that number 9 position, aren't they? It's usually one or the other of them plays there, and if Stina does play, then Leslie normally drops a little bit deeper, as happened on Sunday. So. But it's good to have that option. And you're right. Sometimes it hasn't worked when those 2 have played. Absolutely, it's not worked. We've said it before, haven't we? It's not worked. And yet there's been other games where it works perfectly. And maybe you're right. Maybe we have to pick the games to use that in. Against Leicester, it worked. So that was a good choice. And maybe the coaching team need to look at the weaknesses of the opposition and think, actually, this is the game to play them together. And maybe that's what hasn't always been the case in previous games, but it did work in that particular game, and we know it can work. And I do like to see it happening more. And I think Leslie Russo has more impact sometimes when she's a bit deeper because she gets more of the ball. When she plays as a number 9, certainly in maybe the previous 4 or 5 games before the international break, she hardly got the ball. Not in the right position. She was having to drop deep, go wide because we wasn't getting the ball in the box, but she wasn't getting the service. So it wouldn't have mattered playing Stina in those games either because she wouldn't have got the ball. So it's almost pointless playing her. So yeah, I think that is something that we need to look at, a way to make that work more often, because we've got 2 very good players who can do very different things, and we need to find a way to make that work more often. Because when it does, it's no team wants to face 2 players like that, do they? Because they offer 2 different threats. So. Yeah. Anyway, Joe says, evening chat's a bit late, but I thought Stina and Mido were outstanding on Sunday. No, they were absolutely. I thought that was a good game from Beth actually as well, because I know a lot of people have criticised that she's past her best and she's not quite up to the level that she was at before her injury. But I thought she had a really good game on Sunday, Beth Mead. The right side, she looked strong. You know, she got a great assist. And that was good to see. You know, she's actually played quite well this season, Beth, hasn't she? She's done all right so far, I think. Do you think she's playing well, Beth? Considering that she's had a better start to this season than maybe the last couple of seasons, hasn't she?
Yeah. So far she has a good season, not amazing or brilliant, but really good. And the Leicester game, she was in first half, one of our best players. And the assists that are coming from Mido, it's. You shouldn't only you should not say she's not scoring goals or something like that. She's important on the wings. Her movements. She's often going inside, and we get a lot of assists from her, and that's one of her strengths. And as you said about Stina, there are so many teams in the WSL that would wish to have a player like Beth Mead. Not for scoring the goals, not for getting the crosses in like Chloe Kelly can do this, but for her player intelligence or creating chances, assisting, and these are her qualities now. Maybe she had more qualities before her injury, and now she has settled in and found new qualities to bring in for the team. And considering this, she was really good against Leicester, and for the whole season, I'd say she has a better season than the last 2 seasons. So it's good to see Beth on this level.
No, I agree. Yeah, I think she's certainly played a lot better this season so far than she has done in the last couple of seasons. Absolutely, she has. And yeah, we know she's got more in her. We know that because we've seen it before. But ultimately, sometimes it's it's sometimes a slower process when you've had such a long injury that she had. So, you know, but she's getting there. She's playing well. She's played well for the Lionesses as well. Maybe she's a bit more confident at the minute. Maybe she's feeling that extra confidence. And it certainly showed against Leicester. And obviously we're going to need her. We're going to need everybody at their best for the next couple of weeks, certainly, aren't we, with the games we've got coming up. Greg says, Renee's starting to play her because the transfer window's coming and she wants Stina to stay. Well, I don't know if that's the reason, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure Stina will stay. Joe says, also thought Cody and Hines were steady with a couple of good through balls. Yeah, they did all right. Yeah, obviously, I agree with what Andreas said about the Leicester goal. Obviously, Cody's not the fastest and got outpaced and yeah, Katie Reid probably wouldn't have allowed that to happen. Leah Williamson wouldn't have allowed that to happen, probably. But no, I thought considering Cody's hardly played, she stepped in and did a decent enough job. I agree. I thought Taylor Hines was pretty steady as well. Yeah, no, I agree. And it's good, isn't it? Because we're going to need the squad players. And like we said before, it's no good throwing a player in after, you know, one game every 10 and expect them to play straight away at that level. They've got to have minutes on the pitch. They've got to be ready to play. And you're only ready to play by playing. So it's nice that they were given the games. You know, obviously Taylor Hines has played a bit more recently anyway. So it's good to see Cody get a game because she's not really played at all. You know, as I said, Jenna even came on. So it was good to see her get some minutes. We're going to need all the squad through the season. If we're going to be successful this season, we're going to need all the squad. And all the squad have to be ready. And they're only going to be ready if they get minutes. So it was good that we were able to give minutes to some players that haven't been playing enough. So, you know, that's good to see. And let's hope that carries on. Top sales from Canada. Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, it is quite white out there, I think, most of the time, isn't it? A lovely place, though. Good to have you with us. I'm sure we've got someone else who's from Canada, actually. Toronto, one of our viewers. Anyway, LG says, why is Chloe not starting? Yeah, you can't tell me Ford and Beth are better because they are simply not. Yeah, it's a little bit baffling. She's not been starting that many games, has she, Chloe Kelly? I'm not sure what's going on there. But, you know, like everybody else, we've got a squad. We've got a big squad and we've got a good squad. And no one should be guaranteed a starting place apart from possibly your captain and possibly Leah Williamson when she's fit because of how important she is. But most other players, they've got to be considered as rotation players. Everybody, especially in the forward line, we've got so many of them. I'd like to see Chloe Kelly playing more. Is she better than Caitlin and Beth? She's a different player. She offers different threat. I like Caitlin Ford. I like Beth Mead. And I like Chloe Kelly. And you can't play them all because it unbalances the team. And it's good to have the options. We said that before, isn't it? You need players in your squad. You need good players in your squad, either to start or to come off the bench and have an impact. Chloe Kelly is actually, for England as well, has proved to be a really, really useful substitute off the bench, hasn't she? You know, she comes off the bench and has a massive impact. She did in the Euros for England. She has done for Arsenal. So if she's on the bench and she comes on, when she comes on, she always does something, doesn't she? Whether it's scoring a goal, creating something, she's that sort of player. So I don't necessarily mind. Yes, she should be starting more games, and I think she will. It's more of a rotational thing, I think. And it's, you know, we've said this before, that Renee doesn't seem to know her best front three at any time. So she's mixing and matching a little, isn't she? She's playing different players in those positions and swapping around to try to get the balance that she wants. And, you know, she should know by now because they're not new players, none of them. They've all been here a while. But anyway, I mean, Chloe Kelly will start more games, and I know she will. But the fact is, she's a squad player. She's part of the squad as everybody else is, and she's an important player, and she does a job when she's on the pitch, and that's all we can hope for from anyone, isn't it? That they do the job when they're there. And at the end of the day, the team that got picked on Sunday was the right team for that game because we won and won comfortably. So you can't argue with the selection. The substitutions were good. They all came on and got minutes and stuff like that. So for this particular game, I don't think we can really question the team lineup. In other games, when we've maybe lost, think, why wasn't this player starting? Why didn't that player start? We can ask the questions then, can't we? But when we won the game and won comfortably, you have to say, Renee got that one right. So, you know, that's all we really need to worry about. Matthew Rivers there, he says, hi, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And we've got 170 goes says, we're shocked at how slow Kadina is. Well, I don't think we were shocked. We've seen how slow she is before. We know she's slow. And to be fair, the Leicester striker, actually, when she came on, she caused us a few problems because she was quite fast and nippy, you know, and that's going to cause problems to any defence. And we didn't have the two fastest centre backs either, which didn't help. But yeah, Joe says, I liked Russo in the 10. Yeah, I thought she played well there. Absolutely, she did. And she can play that position as well. And it worked well, didn't it? Cheryl says there, funny how Thompson and Smith will end up going head to head on the same wing if they both start. Well, they could do. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen on that game, actually. Matthew says there, Russo can definitely hit the ball better. She's maybe a better striker of the ball, but it doesn't mean she's a better finisher. But anyway, I'm glad we've got both, and that's the point. Joe says, 9.5. Yeah, maybe 9.5. That's where maybe she should play. Yeah, if that's a real thing. John says Stina missed a couple too. Took too much time, but could have had 2 more because she made the run and got in the right place. Exactly, yeah, and that's what she always does. That's what I'm saying. She always makes them runs. And Matthew says Fox is the only player in the Arsenal back line with true pace. Yeah, she's the quickest, obviously. But I think Katie Reid can move when she needs to. Leah Williamson can shift over short distances. So, I think we have got pace there when they're playing. Greg says Russo is a better all-round player. She battles the whole game, where Stina is better playing on the last event. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Stina and Russo have got different strengths, haven't they? So, yeah. And then it says, when is Leah Williamson back? Probably not till January, if we're honest. So, she's still not even proper training yet. So it's going to be a while. But, yeah, she'll be back soon, and we'll look forward to that. LG says, Stina is not clinical in 1v1s because she has time to think of where to put the ball. That's her weakness. Yeah, a little bit I'd agree with that. Yeah, but, sometimes when you're a striker, most of the best strikers score their best goals when they don't have time to think. First time shots. That's that instinct. And you can't take that instinct away from a goal scorer. But if you give them time to think, then their brain takes over their instincts, and that's when they miss. And it's not just Stina. This is every single striker that's ever played football is the same, that you've got a natural goal scoring instinct. And when you don't think, it's natural. You're just in that position, you stick your leg out, you know where it's going, you put it in the goal. And all the top strikers have that instinct. And I say, when you've got more time to think, it's more difficult, because you go through, it'll go through your mind, won't it? Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I go around a keeper? Do I shoot? And it's making the right decision every time. And it's difficult to do, and no one really does it. Gunnar says, is Woober Moy available? Yeah, as far as I know, she's available, yeah. Did she come on? I can't remember if she came on against Leicester or not now. She didn't start, did she?
She wasn't.
Come on, no. I thought in the squad, no. Did she get an injury?
No, Renee said Lotta is rebuilding her fitness, whatever this means.
Oh. Well, that's kind of means she's had an injury or something then, doesn't it? Anyway, John says Leicester striker was rapid. No, she was rapid, absolutely. She was fast. And she caused us a few problems, actually. She looked quite good. Greg says Russo is a world-class player. Stina is a good forward. Well, no, exactly. Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think Stina is more than a good forward. Obviously, she's a very good forward. But yeah, you're right. And Russo as a player is much better. LG says Hines is probably better going forward than Emily Fox. Fox is not that strong in forward positions, which is my criticism of her, because that's what's required for a modern forward. I mean, she gets forward a lot, but yeah, when she gets there, she doesn't always know to make the right decisions when she gets there, does she? You're right. And Taylor Hines is more natural because I think she's played more forward in her career, hasn't she? One thing again says, I can't lie, Hines is not even better than McCall. No, they're different players again, aren't they? But she's a good player to have in the squad. Top Shell says, agreed, the Leicester striker has some wheels. No, absolutely. She was absolute flyer, wasn't she? Agneta says there, Amida's really stepped up. Yeah, no, she has. She's had a good season, definitely, and it's good to see as well. Matthew says, hang on, where are we? Hines looked okay on the right, but her seems prone to panic and would make a dangerous play. Yeah, but I think that's because that's not a natural side, is it? So it's more difficult when you're not on your natural side of the pitch. But I thought she played quite well, actually. John says, I think Beth has played well the last 4 games and for England. She's showing her critics she isn't finished yet. Absolutely, yeah. Still capable of top-tier performances, also a very intelligent player. No, I agree with all that, yeah. And you don't lose any of that, do you? The one thing that you lose maybe is a little bit of fitness, a little bit of confidence. You've got to maybe adjust your body slightly to compensate for your injury and stuff. And I think she's gone through that. Matthew says, Mead mostly just lacks pace. And I think that's always been the case, hasn't it? I think pace has never been Beth's strength, has it? That's not what she's known for. And that's never going to change. She's never going to get fast, is she, suddenly? So, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. We've got India Mastiff says, since England lost to Brazil, Arsenal players have been given a reality check. They've stepped up. Good time for Chelsea and Bayern. But I kind of agree. We think it is a good time, actually. We'll see. We'll see, obviously, this week. John says, Kelly had a bandaged knee. I'm sure I saw that when she was standing up. I was like, yeah, and I think she's had a bit of an injury ongoing much of the season, actually, Chloe Kelly. I don't think she's been 100% fit. But, you know, obviously she must be fit enough because she has been playing. So let's see what happens. I mean, she's an important player, and I'm sure she's going to play a lot more minutes. Joe says it's important for the bench to start getting decent minutes because we lose Caitlin, KCC and Steph in the new year for the Asia Cup. Yeah, exactly. I mean, KCC's not been playing much anyway, but certainly Caitlin and Steph have. But obviously by then, Leah Williamson should be fit. So that should be, you know, Steph will go, but Leah Williamson comes back in and suddenly we're looking okay. But yeah, we have to be ready for that. I'm sure we will be. 170 Gunner says we got options in attack, but our midfield is light. Only Mariona and Little are good enough. Yeah, but I mean, this is a problem we said back in the summer, didn't we? We hadn't strengthened our midfield enough, and we are a bit short there. But yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is now until January, certainly. Greg says, yes, we've got a big squad, but still lacking creativity. But yeah, we are, absolutely. We are lacking creativity. We've got a lot of players, but we've got a lot of similar players, haven't we? Rather than real depth in different positions. We've got a lot of very similar players, haven't we? India Mastiff says, should be a sellout on Saturday, 60,000 plus. Yeah, I would imagine it would be. Let's hope so. Matthew says, Leah is training on the grass already. She's making good progress. I wish on the grass. I saw her training in the gym. There was a video of her, this was it last couple of days ago. I saw one of her training in the gym. So she's obviously getting back. But yeah, it's still a way off yet, but hopefully, you know, January she'll be back. India Matthew says we have just over 1,300 allocation for the Bayern game. Can't wait to go. It's at the Allianz Arena. Anyone else going? Well, we know someone who's going, sitting here. Andreas will be going, so you'll definitely see Andreas here. Yeah, if anyone else is going, you have to let us know if you're going to Bayern next week, of course. Greg says, we're still struggling in front of goal. Either players try to go alone or try to play the X. Well, sometimes, yeah. But I thought Leicester was better that first half. I thought we made the right choices. LG says Chelsea have fullbacks like Carpenter and Baltimore who are dangerous going forward. Can't say the same for Fox. No, I agree with that. I mean, they've got top players, Chelsea, haven't they? Top Shelf says, is Liv Smith injured? Yeah. I think she, I think she's carrying an injury, isn't she? She is at the minute.
She has a bruised hip. If I'm right informed, she caught this injury in during the international break in a game for Canada. She had to go off, and since then, I think she's not ready to play. But it's not as serious as we thought first. So she is in training, maybe individual training. I don't think she will be available for Chelsea and Bayern, but she should be back. Yeah, in this block in November, I hope.
Yeah, no, let's hope so, because you know, obviously she's a great player as well. Another important squad player that we need. Joe says Leah was out on a training pitch. I haven't seen anything from today, so no, that's good news. And if she is, it might mean that we'll see her a little bit sooner than we anticipate. I know the club had said they wasn't expecting her to be fit probably till after the Christmas break, but you know, if you can get back quicker, that'll be great. So we shall see. LG says they're spot on, Rich. We have a lot of midfield players, but most of them are similar. If you take out KCC and put in Palova, there's not much of a difference because they're quite similar. Yeah, exactly, and I think that's the same in a lot of positions, really. We've got a lot of players, but too many are too similar. And sometimes you need a different option, don't you? Someone who can do something different. And that's why Stina and Leslie Russo sometimes are quite good, because they are different. They offer different threats, don't they? And we need that more often in more positions, probably. But anyway, of course, after Leicester, which was very, very good, there is, I think we've got a game at the weekend. I don't know who we're playing. Some little team that no one's really heard of. Of course, it is the biggest game of the season. It always is. Arsenal versus Chelsea, and every season, actually, particularly, it seems to be when we play them at home. We normally seem to play them at home first, don't we? Generally, and every season when we play Chelsea at home, it's always the same case. It's always a matter of it's a game we can't lose. or we have to win. It's one of those two, isn't it? Or sometimes both. And this is exactly the same again, isn't it? Because we definitely can't afford to lose this game, or that's it. The title's done. Even a draw probably won't be quite enough. But the good news is, if we can find a way to win, we would only be 2 points behind them. 2 points behind Chelsea. That's just one draw away from them. So it shows what a massive game this is for us. An opportunity is there, isn't it? It looks as though the title had gone a few weeks ago after we lost to Man City and a couple of draws, and it looked like that was it. It was done. There was no way we could get back in the title race. We might as well forget it. And suddenly now we've got an opportunity on Saturday to win that game and be just 2 points behind. And that's nothing, really. That's nothing. Chelsea can draw a game. Absolutely, they can draw a game. And then suddenly we win and we level. So what a big opportunity that this is for us now. Such a big opportunity that if we can find a way to take it and we can get the 3 points somehow, then what a massive difference it's going to make to the whole, not just for us. I mean, Man City, Man United will probably be begging us to win that game so that Chelsea can drop points. It's not just going to help us, but we only need to think of ourselves. We have to win, really. And I must admit, before the Leicester game, I didn't really give us a lot of hope, if I'm honest. You hope we might do it, but I wasn't expecting us to win. Now, suddenly I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I actually think we've got a good chance. I'm not saying we're definitely going to win, but I think we've got a decent chance to do it. I really do. I think we've come into this game in better form. Chelsea still don't convince me when I've seen them. They don't convince me. That they get results. They know what they're doing. They're a very strong physical team, but they're not convincing, I don't think. So I think it's a big opportunity for us. I mean, Andreas, obviously we know how big a win would be. Do you think we can do it? Do you think we can get those 3 points and really, really throw that title race wide open?
Difficult to say. It's as you said, it's a must-win for us, and the pressure is on us, not on Chelsea. But I've the actual table here, and don't make the mistake to only look on Chelsea. Yeah, we are 5 points behind Chelsea. If we win, it's only 2 points. But there's Man City. They are playing away at Everton. If they win their game, then we will be 4 points behind the leader of the WSL table. So it's not beating Chelsea and we are back in the title race and we are going to win the league. Even if we beat Chelsea, we are still probably 4 points behind the team leading the table. And we are 3 points behind United. And to make it even worse, we are still 1 point behind Spurs. Even if we win, let Spurs win at LCL, then we beat Chelsea and everybody's celebrating and saying, oh, we are back in the title race, but we will be on 5th place behind Spurs. So, and don't mention, if we lose the game against Chelsea, then it could be City wins. They have 21 points. We have 14 points. And the third place team would be Man United, probably 20.6 points behind the third. Then not only the title race is over, maybe the whole season is over if we lose against Chelsea. So this makes a lot of pressure on us. And if Chelsea takes 1 point, it's enough for them. They have drawn against United. They have beaten City. To draw away at Arsenal would be sufficient for them, would be enough. So I think, if the game is long, 0-0 or 1-1, then Chelsea will try to bring home the 1 point. And we can't say, of course, then let's take it all. We must risk something. We must go forward, even in the second half, at the end of the second half. If we are not leading the game, then we have to risk something. And this probably causes the danger that we concede another goal from Chelsea. So it's a massive game. But on the other hand, these are the games the players want to play. They want these finals. Of course, it's not a final in a cup competition or the league final, but it's like a final for us to be back in the race for the top 3. And every player says we like these games. And let's see. I mean, in the last 2-3 seasons, Arsenal was always good when they were on the edge, when they had to win, when it was a final. So let's put all our hopes and confidence in the team that they will bring out a massive performance just when it counts. And it counts on Saturday.
Absolutely, it definitely counts on Saturday. And I mean, we have, like you said, we have got a decent record in the sort of one-off games, if you like. And this is kind of a one-off game, isn't it? In a way, like you said, it's not a cup final, but it is almost a one-off game, because if we lose, then that is, yeah, you're right. It is not just Chelsea, but Chelsea are the benchmark team, aren't they? They've won the league all these years in a row. They're the team that you've got to aim to finish above if you're going to have any hope of doing anything. Yes, Man City and Man United are both doing well at the minute. I still feel that both of them will go through a little spell later in the season. They'll drop points like they always do and fall away. Chelsea, you know, they're probably not going to do that much. So what we have to do is we have to beat them, because they're still our biggest rivals for the title, I think. So, but yeah, you can only focus on the game you've got ahead of you anyway, and that's Chelsea anyway. So let's beat them, and then we can worry about the Manchester clubs later on once we've got Chelsea out of the way. But you know, even beating them, we're still behind, so it's not like suddenly we can write them off, because they'll still be above us. But we have to win to close that gap and make it more interesting for everybody. I think I think most sort of neutrals probably expect Chelsea to beat us. They probably do, because recent seasons have proved that that's what's happened. Chelsea generally have beat us, and they've gone on and won the league. So I think most people expect them to beat us. So it's a good opportunity for us to, really throw it open for everybody, not just for us, but make the season more open. Chelsea lose a game, and suddenly last season that they ran away with it a little bit, didn't they? And if this season it can be a bit tighter, and if the Manchester clubs are close, if we can get ourselves closer, it just makes it a more exciting season. And I think that it's important not only for Arsenal, but I think it's important for the WSL as a whole. If Chelsea lose a few games, you can't have them going unbeaten all the time. It's no good for anyone, is it? And then they are due a defeat. Absolutely they are. John says there, Chelsea weren't convincing against London City Lionesses last game. 2-0 that was, yeah. And Spurs the game before, which was 1-0. And before that, they drew 1-1 with Man U. I think we can beat them. Maybe 3-1 is doable. Well, you see, you're right. And they haven't been convincing. And they've not been convincing much of the season. But they find a way, don't they? They find a way every single week. We said it last week, didn't we? When we're looking at the LCL game, we said they'd find a way to win, and they did. They didn't play particularly well. They got the job done. They got the job done against Spurs. They got a point against Man United. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea are what they are, but I feel as though I'm more confident now that we can get a result on Saturday than I was a couple of weeks ago. Joe says that Chelsea aren't demolishing opponents like they were last year. They're winning, but not by massive margins. No, you're right. In fact, we've got a better goal difference, haven't we? So, LG says that we had a mighty European champions playing the local champions. Exactly. And the European champions are going to come out on top. Of course they are, because that's what's going to happen, I'm sure. Joe says, I just hope our girls treat this game like a Champions League or Euros final, because it's that important. No, exactly, it is. And I say we've got a good record, haven't we, in those type of games? We've beaten Chelsea in 2 cup finals in recent seasons. So we know we can do it. But this is a different type of game, isn't it? It's a different type of challenge. But yeah, I'm confident I think we're going to play well, put it that way. I think we're going to have a good game. Is it going to be enough to beat them? I don't know. They don't lose often, do they? So, they haven't lost for a long time in the league. Joe says 2-1 Arsenal. See, there's some confidence going on there. I like that. There's confidence, and I'm kind of liking that. And if that confidence is in the team, if they've got confidence, who knows? We can achieve a lot of things, Nobody thought we'd beat Barcelona in the final, did they? Nobody thought we had a chance in that game, and we found a way and did it. In all fairness, Barcelona are better than Chelsea. They proved it. They scored 8 goals against them a few weeks before we beat them. They're a better team. And we went and beat Barcelona in a one-off game. So we can definitely beat Chelsea in a one-off game. We can. It's just, will we be able to get it together on the day enough to be able to do it? I don't know. Chelsea's the one game where I'm never really confident that we'll win. I hope we'll win. And it's great to win. I'm just always worried going into a Chelsea game, because it's Chelsea, and history comes to tell us that we need to be worried. Chelma says easy Chelsea 1-0 win. Well, it's not easy, is it, if it's 1-0, is it? Do you know what I mean? But Chelsea won't keep a clean sheet. Top Shelf says hate to say it, draw 2-2, wouldn't surprise me. LG says worried about our defence. Chelsea are going to look to exploit that. Yeah, they will probably, but I think we've got players to hurt their defence as well. I mean, to be fair, it's got the makings of a great game, hasn't it? Two of the best teams in the league. There's no doubt. Okay, we've had our problems earlier in the season. We've dropped some silly points, but it's still Arsenal. Chelsea is still the top two teams in the league, regardless of what the league table currently says. We are the best two teams, and it's going to be a very, very interesting game. Joe says, when's the game on? It's Saturday at 12 o'clock. So it's early kickoff again, which is a bit annoying. Chelmer says, Chelsea have only conceded 3 goals. Yeah, no, but they haven't played Arsenal yet, have they? So don't worry about it. There's many goals they've conceded up till now. They haven't played Arsenal yet, have they? Who have they played? They've played, London City Lionesses, they've got a clean sheet. A clean sheet against Spurs. You know what I mean? That's no good, is it? They haven't played Arsenal yet. You wait till Saturday when you're conceding loads of goals and they're flying past your goalkeeper. You won't be saying they've only conceded 3 goals in, will you? Because they're going to concede 3 in the first half on Saturday. But no, I mean, in seriousness, obviously we know it's going to be a difficult game. We're going to have to be at our absolute best. We're going to have to basically make as few mistakes as possible. And when we get the chances in front of goal, we're going to have to take them. We're going to have to be clinical. We can't afford to miss 2 or 3 chances because we're probably not going to get loads and loads and loads. So we need to be clinical and we need to score first, quite honestly. We need to score first to have any chance of winning. If Chelsea go 1-0 up, then I think that's it. I think that's game over. And I don't think we can come back and beat them from 1-0 down. So I think we have to score first. And then if we do, hopefully we can build on that, get the confidence from being in front. And then Chelsea are going to have to open up more, aren't they? Because they're going to have, like Andreas is right, a draw is a good result for Chelsea, really. They'll be reasonably happy with a draw. Yeah. So if we go 1-0 up, then they're going to have to take a few more risks. There's going to be a few more gaps, and maybe we can exploit that and get a second goal and kill it off. But we need to score first, don't we, to begin with? Otherwise, it's not going to work, is it? John says, my only worry is that we've been underperforming until the Leicester game. We got to win there. We saw the different lineup completely change us. We should now at least have some confidence back. Exactly, yeah. That's what that Leicester game was about, wasn't it? Building confidence. Joe says, I foresee a 2-1 win. Well, that's what we like to see. Hopefully you've foreseen it right. That'd be nice. Chelmer says, one of those 3 goals is an own goal. Yeah, but that's the past. Forget the past. The future is what matters, and that is going to be on Saturday. And you're going to concede more than 3 goals on Saturday, so don't worry. Greg says, I hope we win, but we need to be a lot better than we have been. Absolutely. But then I think Chelsea do as well, because they've not been that great, have they? They've not been that great. They've kind of muddled through, like they always do. John says, do we play the same team as against Leicester? We know it worked there, or do we change and risk that the change doesn't work as well? I mean, that's an interesting question. I don't think it will be the same team. Personally, I think there'll be at least 2 or 3 changes. I think Emily Fox will come back in at right back. I think Katie Reid may well start in defence, actually, because she looks fit again now. So I think she might start. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Stina and Leslie Russo will both start against Chelsea, if I'm honest. I don't think they will. I've got to be honest. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Although Stina has got a good goal scoring record against Chelsea, to be fair. She tends to get goals against them, so who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting at least 2 or 3 changes from the Leicester game. I mean, Andreas, what are you thinking? Do you think it'll be a similar team, or do you think it might be more like, I don't know, the team that played earlier in the season? I can't see it being the same team as Leicester. I just can't.
No, I expect a few changes, and it's nearly sure that Foxy will be back in the starting lineup, and I think Taylor Hines will be on the bench, because it will be Emily Fox and Katie McCabe as fullbacks, and centre back. It's of course it's Steph Catley, but who is her partner there? I think Renee will try to play Lotta if she's fit. I would play Katie Reid because of her pace and how she played at the start of the season. But my feeling is that Renee will bring Lotta because of her experience and maybe because Lotta knows Aggie Beaver-Jones better from the England camps, although Lotta didn't play much. But yeah, I think this could be in Renee's mind. And then in midfield, there's one question: is Kim Little fit? She had to be subbed off against Leicester in the last 5 minutes of the game. She was limping a bit. I haven't read anything this week, so don't know. If Kim is fit, she will start, as well as Mariana. And the question is the third midfield position. Difficult to say. Is it Kyra starting the more defensive role, or will she bring Frida at the number 10? I don't see Leslie and Stina start. I think Leslie will be the number 9 in this game, and that would be my choice too. And bring or have Stina as a super sub on the bench if it's 1-1 in second half after 60 minutes, and then bring on Stina. She will cause problems for the Chelsea defense. And on the wings, I think Beth and Caitlin will start. About Chloe, we don't know what happened. Has she fallen out of grace from Renee, or is it just a knee injury that's not really serious, but she's not match fit to start? I don't know. I think Beth and Caitlin will start, and Leslie in the number 9, and then have the opportunity to bring Stina or Vicky Pelova to have an impact. And it's difficult, but Chelsea have some problems too. Sonia Van Puesto is trying to get Ellie Carpenter and Lucy Bronze together in the team, although they are both right backs. So where is the place for both? And this might offer chances for us. So Lucy and Ellie Carpenter are both very, very offensive players, and this will open space for our wingers. And who is the left back for Chelsea? Will it be what's her name?
Baltimore.
Sandy Baltimore, yes, or is Neve Charles ready to play? Let's see. And on the wings, will it be Alicia Thompson or is it Guru Wrighton? Yeah, let's see. And probably Aggie Beaver-Jones will start, and they have a super sub as number 9 too, Sam Kerr, coming on at 85th minute and scoring in stoppage time. Please not. But we know that Sam Kerr has a good record against our players. Chelsea has a very good team, and we have to make everything right with the starting lineup, with the tactics. And I agree with you. The best situation for us would be to get the lead. Then the pressure will change from us to Chelsea. They can't stay defensive and say, of course, let's take a 1-0 loss at Arsenal. No, then they have to come out. They have to try something, and this will open space, even more space for our attackers. Then everything is possible. If we get the lead, then I think we can win the game. You want prediction or later?
Yeah, go on now. Prediction. Yeah, go on. Prediction time. Give us a prediction.
Okay. Yeah. The normal prediction is 2-2. I think a draw is most probable result. There will be goals. It will not be a 0-0 because both attacking lines are able to score at any time, and both defensive lines are vulnerable. If you concede a goal against Leicester, then you can concede against every team. So, and Chelsea, well, when did they have their last convincing game where they played really well?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, they always find a way to score and to win, but they are not threatening. But as I said, they find a way to score goals. There is Erwin Kasper, there is Jochen Nüsken, Johanna Rütting-Kanerud. Everybody from them can score, and I'm afraid they will score 2 goals, but we also will. But 2 goals for us won't be enough. So I say 2-2. Of course, I hope for more, but that's my prediction.
Well, Agneta thinks that Chelsea will score 2, but we'll score 4. So there you go. That'd be good, won't it? I hope you're right. That would be fantastic. Joseph said, what makes Chelsea unbeatable? Well, I mean, the fact that they have been unbeatable, haven't they? They haven't lost a game in the league since Sonia came in. So it's only really history that makes them unbeatable. If you look at the way they've been playing, and you look at the strengths and weaknesses of their team, I would agree. I wouldn't say they are unbeatable. They're not unbeatable. They will lose a game. Absolutely, they will at some stage. Why can't it be Saturday when we play? Why not? We there's not many teams in the league probably that can beat Chelsea. Realistically, is there? There probably isn't many. The 2 Manchester clubs on their day should be able to, can do it. Us on our day can do it. And you start looking a bit further down and you're thinking, how many of those other teams have even got the capabilities to beat Chelsea? Yes, Chelsea can have a really, really bad day. And it's possible they lost to Reading a couple of years ago and stuff like that. But generally, it's only really the 2 Manchester clubs and us that can realistically beat them. So they're not unbeatable, but they're not going to lose very often, are they? Let's be honest. So we have to take the opportunity when we can, and that's when we play them, because we can't rely on other teams in the league to beat them, because it won't happen very often. So we have to do our job, and that's to beat them when we can, and that's on Saturday. And we have to take that, and obviously they won't be unbeatable, will they? Because we'd have beaten them. So there you go. Chelsea, if you allow Chelsea to settle into the game, then you'll be in trouble. Absolutely, of course. Yeah, we have to get in their faces right from the start. Of course we do. Greg says, what makes Chelsea unbeatable is the refs. Well, yeah, that certainly doesn't help us, does it? But anyway, let's see what happens. LG says, should we risk it all and go all out against Chelsea, or should we be more cautious of our approach? Well, I think a little bit of both. I think we need to be cautious of the fact that we can't afford to concede the first goal. Certainly not like we did last season and concede in the first 5-10 minutes. So we have to be cautious in that side of it. But equally, we've got to win the game. So at some stage, we're going to have to take the game to Chelsea, aren't we? We're going to have to. So I think we need to get both sides right. I don't think we can be overly cautious all game, because we probably won't win. But equally, we can't be overly ambitious all game, because we'll probably get caught on the break and lose. So it's getting that balance right, isn't it? I think we need to be cautious because we have to start the game strongly. But equally, at some stage, we're going to have to try and push on and win it, aren't we? If it's 0-0 or 1-1, whatever it is, in the last 10 minutes, we've got to try and push on and win at that point, haven't we? And forget about being cautious. I've said it before, and I'll stick by it, even for a game like this. If it's 1-1 with 5 minutes to play, I would rather we went to try and win it and end up losing 2-1 than just sitting on the 1-1 and not trying to win it. Even though technically the 2-1's a worse result, I'd rather see us be ambitious and try to win the game, even if ultimately we aren't able to do it and it costs us. I would still rather we did that than just sit back and be happy with a 1-1. When 1-1's not really enough, it's a good result for Chelsea. It's not good enough for us. So we need to win. So we need to take the initiative if that's how the game situation is. But let's see. Let's see how the game plays out. I mean, if it's 1-1 with 5 minutes to go and Chelsea are all over us, pressing for the winner, let's hang on and get the draw. But equally, if it's not, if it's a fairly even game, it's 1-1, let's try and win it if we can in the last 10 minutes. But would you, I mean, Andreas, we need to be cautious of Chelsea, obviously, because they're a great team. But I don't want to see us be over cautious, do you?
Yeah, it's difficult to say we need a win. I agree. But if it's 2-2 and 5 or 8 minutes to go, will you really risk to lose against them? I mean, we have 4 days later the away game at Bayern, then 3 or 4 days later the North London derby. So for the confidence, it would be better to take the draw and not lose against Chelsea. So I don't think we will risk everything and go all in. If it's 5 or 8 minutes to go with a draw. I see the problem that then both teams will settle in and say, okay, let's take a draw. It's better 1 point than no point. And what happens if it's 2-2? You risk everything. You have maybe 1, 2, 3 big chances, and you get a counter attack in the 95th minute and lose 2-3. Your self-confidence is broken. And 4 days later, you have to play in Munich. Then better take the 2-2 and say, we had them on the edge. And of course, it's only a draw, but we were the better team. We could have won, and it's better for the self-confidence. So I wouldn't go all in the last minutes.
I don't know. You see, I think that you're right, and obviously we don't want to risk losing the game, I suppose, and losing the game would be a disaster. But I don't know if it is a draw going into the last few minutes of the game. Like you said, we don't know if we could have won by trying. We could win. We could push on, and we've got the players to score a goal and win the game. We have, and we can do it. But equally, by taking too many risks, you could lose. Of course, you could, and you've got to be sensible, I suppose, in it. But I would rather see us at least try to win the game rather than just sitting on a draw, and then, like you said, leaving the game with the thought of, I wonder if we could have actually gone on and won that game if we pushed on a bit more. Could we have done it? I'd rather know that we pushed on and we didn't do it, rather than sitting back and wondering if we could have done. There's no guarantee that if we push on, we'll lose the game. We might not win it. We might not create the chance to win it, but we might not necessarily lose. Yes, you're increasing your chances, I suppose, but equally, you're increasing your chance of winning. It's a tough one, isn't it? And at the end of the day, how the game's played out is going to matter. When there's 5 minutes to play on Saturday, and if it's a draw, if the game's gone and we've maybe been the better team, I'll be wanting us to push on and win. But if it's a draw with 5 minutes to go and we've been under pressure for most of the game and we've been lucky to still be in it, I'd probably take the draw. So I suppose it's how the game's played out. But equally, I hope that we're in a position where in the last 5 minutes we can go on and win it. That's what I want to see, because that would be fantastic. But yeah, it is a tough one. But I don't like to see anybody sit, especially like if you want to be a serious team, you don't sit on a draw at home against your rival. You try and win the game. Surely, in the position that we're in, you try and win the game. If we were in Chelsea's position, I'd say, no, take the draw all day long. Don't worry. Draw's great, but we're not. We're 5 points behind. We're not 5 points in front. It's more onus on us to try and win. We're at home. So, but anyway, let's see how the game plays out first, and then we'll worry about it then. Joe makes a good point here. I don't see how Lotta can get picked over Reed. No, I agree. I don't. In this season, I agree 100%. There's no way Lotta should get picked over Katie Reed. But the points that Andreas made about the experience Lotta's got over Katie Reed in these type of games, that might be more important. So I don't know. I think there's an argument for Lotta to play on that basis. But yeah, I mean, Katie Reed's been magnificent. And I would play her if it was me as well. I agree. I would play Katie Reed all day long. If she's fit, play her, because her pace is important. The way she reads the game, her calmness on the ball is important. I think Lotta can get a bit flustered sometimes, panic a little bit. I think Katie Reed's more calm. But then, against Leon, Katie Reed was exposed a bit. Her inexperience showed against the top team. So I don't know. It's a tough one. But Renee knows the players. Renee knows what to do. But yeah, I would go with Katie personally. Top Shelf says we might see Man United or Man City top. So yeah, we might do. Yeah, we might well do. Hopefully we will, because it means we've won and Chelsea have dropped points. So yeah, let's see. Chelmer says, I doubt if Aggie Beaver Jones starts this weekend. I think we'll start Sam. Because I'm not sure if Samco's ready to start a game, is she? She's been out a long time. I'm not sure. She's not fit anyway as a starter, because she ran out of steam after 20 minutes anyway, and she had to go off. So yeah, I'm not really bothered. Joe says Kelly's knee was heavily taped. I think she's carrying a bit of an injury. Yeah, no, we said that earlier. Yeah, I agree. I think she might well be carrying a bit of an injury. She missed a couple of games, didn't she, earlier on? Greg says playing Lotta would be a mistake. Steph is slow, Lotta is slower. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Katie gives that balance. You're right. Yeah. Chelsea says there, Carpenter, Lucy, and Garma are all back. I think Sonia likes Carpenter. Maybe Bronze will be benched. See, Caitlin Ford had a lot of joy against Lucy Bronze last season, didn't she, at the Emirates? So I'd like to see that again, actually. I'd like to see a repeat of that. So I hope Lucy Bronze plays for that reason. Chelma says Chelsea 1-0. No, it won't be 1-0 to Chelsea. No point in the game will it be 1-0 to Chelsea. John says, my prediction 3-1 to us. That's what we like to see, exactly. Chelma says 2 goals against Hannah Hampton's impossible. Well, it's not impossible, is it? Because a few teams have scored 2 against that. We're playing for England. So Greg says, don't panic, we'll win 6-2. That would be good, wouldn't it? That would be great. Joe says, was it our Phoebe reffing at the Leicester game? I don't know, actually. Was it? Or was she one of the linesmen? I don't know. Actually, it might have been. I'm not sure. But she was all right, the referee, actually, in that game. Chelmer says Hampson is about to put on a masterclass. No, she isn't. Well, no, I mean, she might do, because we're going to have so many shots that Hannah Hampton is going to be busy, diving about all over the place. So she'll be busy, definitely. Top Shelf says keepers could be the difference. Yeah, I mean, our keeper's doing all right now after a shaky start, so I'm not worried about And they said the weekend will be Chelsea's, whatever that means. But yeah, melting down. You know, I agree. In that we believe indeed. Chelsea, if you've been watching Chelsea, it's usually Millie Bright pushing too far forward and leaving us exposed in transition. The Bjorn and Carpenter side is the one that actually stays solid. Well, we'll see, won't we? Yeah, Millie Bright, obviously, again, a bit like our defence. She's not exactly the quickest, is she? And you know, we can get him behind and cause problems there. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game, isn't it? LG says it's funny that we have Chelsea, Bayern, and Spurs in a row, and the men have the exact set of fixtures in reverse order after the international break. Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, that is true. Actually, it's funny how that's worked out, isn't it? Joe says, the one time we played for a draw and bought Lotto on at the end, we lost. Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. We're not going to play for a draw, though, are we? We're going to play to win. Joe says, as long as the odious Cuthbert doesn't get the winner, yeah, that would be typical, wouldn't it? John says, 1 point isn't enough. Nobody else is going to do it for us. We need to go for the 3 points. Exactly, yeah. 1 point v 0 will make no difference at the end of the season. 1 point versus 3 could, though. No, you're right. I mean, the only difference to losing is what it means is we don't get any points and Chelsea get another 3 plus the 5 they've already got. But yeah, you're right. In the overall scheme of things, 1 point or no points isn't going to make a lot of difference to where we finish in the season if it's not going to be above Chelsea. And if we don't win the game, it probably won't be above Chelsea, will it? So yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think you're right. And I want to see us go for the 3 points. I don't care, actually, now. I've decided. I've changed my mind. I don't care if we've been under the pressure for 89 minutes and it's 1-1 and we're hanging on. Let's try and win it in the last 5 minutes. Bring all the attackers on, off the bench, go for it and try and win it. That's what I want to see. Take all your defenders off. Don't care. Just go for the win. Try and win it. Because you're right. 3 points is so important. And 1 point isn't enough. Absolutely not. Greg says, it's better to lose trying than playing cautious. Just go for it like a bull in a china. So yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I think as well, actually. Top says, if anyone can take away points from Chelsea, it's a go. Yeah, of course, absolutely right. I said there's not many teams that can. We can. Will we? That's what we have to see. Andreas has gone for a 2-2. I'm actually confident we're going to win, actually. I must admit that I'm getting more and more confident. I think we'll do it. I'm going to go. We won't keep a clean sheet, I don't think. I don't think we will. Chelsea will score at least 1. I'm going to go 2-1. I think we'll win 2-1, and I think it's going to be great, and it's going to be fantastic. John's gone 3-1. Yeah, well, I'll go 3-1 as well. Then we'll get a third at the end as Chelsea panic at the last 5 minutes. They'll throw everybody forward to try and get a draw, and we'll get a third goal on the breakaway. That's what happens. Stina will get it. Joe says 2-1 Arsenal. We'll take that all day long. Absolutely. Shirley says, win by all means. Absolutely. We are going to. Don't worry. It's fine. We've got it under control. We have got it under control. So yeah, Saturday story is going to be something quite special, as it always is. Of course, you'll be there, Andreas, as always. Looking forward to that game. I'm sure you are. It's going to be a good atmosphere, isn't it? 60,000 at the Emirates again. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think 55,000 tickets are sold, so it will be between 55 and 60,000. And yeah, this atmosphere should help us. If we have 55,000, then it's 54,500 supporting the Arsenal. And I know how good the atmosphere at the Emirates can be. Remember the Real Madrid game last season. So this can be a decisive point in this game. So let's hope for everybody to bring the noise and support the team, however the match goes. Let's support the girls for 90, 95, 98 minutes, and give everything. I just checked the referee in the Leicester game was Phoebe Cross. That's right.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, and just to clarify, my choice in defense would be Katie Reed, but I think Renee will decide pro Lotta. That's what I wanted to say. If I have to decide, of course, Katie Reed, because the way she played and with her pace against the pacey attackers from Chelsea, she would be the right in defense. Let's hope for a brilliant atmosphere, and maybe we, the supporters, can turn things around in this important game. I can't wait to be at the Emirates on Saturday.
Oh, it's going to be a cracking atmosphere. I'm sure it will be. I mean, it's the biggest game of the season. If the fans aren't up for that, I don't like the 12 o'clock kickoff. I've got to be honest. I don't think that helps the atmosphere of any game. I think you're better off playing later. I'd rather have a later game, a 5:30 game, say for example, on a Saturday, rather than 12 o'clock. But anyway, I'm sure it will be a great atmosphere regardless. Yeah, I don't really like that kickoff time, but anyway. And of course, after Chelsea, it doesn't get any easier, does it? Because we are back in Champions League action, and it is another massive, massive game. And of course, it is the Andreas derby, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, as always. We seem to be playing them every season at the minute, don't we? We seem to get to play them at some stage anyway. It always seems to happen. And it is, of course, a midweek game on Wednesday. That is going to be another difficult game. Of course, it is. We know that. We know what happened last season when we played Bayern away. Didn't quite go to plan. The season before, no, not the season 2 seasons before that, when we played them in a quarter-final away, we played really well but lost 1-0, didn't we, if you remember, before turning it around. So we don't have a great record, do we, away at Bayern, certainly recently. And it's going to be another difficult game. But we said this before, it is quite important, isn't it? What happens against Chelsea will have an impact on Bayern Munich. I'm sure it will, either way. Either we beat Chelsea, everyone's flying, we go to Bayern, massive confidence, and we can go on and win the game. Or if we lose to Chelsea, everyone's on a bit of a downer. We go to Bayern on a downer, as we did last year, and you can see what can happen. So it's difficult to predict what Arsenal team might turn up in this game without knowing what's happened against Chelsea first. But looking at it as things stand right now, it's going to be a tough game anyway. I mean, how have Bayern been playing this season, Andreas? Are they doing pretty well? Are they playing well?
Yes, they won all their games except one against the team on at the bottom of the table against Jena. They had a 0-0 draw. All other games they won, including a 3-1 away win at Wolfsburg. So, yeah, they have a good run in the league. But in Champions League, they have the same problem as we have. They lost the first game away at Barcelona, 7-1. And then they managed to get the win against Juve, 2-1. We lost against Lyon and got a win at Benfica. So it's the same situation for both. And Bayern Munich has a lot of injuries. Maybe you know ACL for Sarah Sadrasil, the Austrian midfielder, and Lena Oberdorf. Also, Vanessa Gilles, the centre back who came from Lyon, is out with injury. Caroline Simon is out with injury. Yeah, a lot of problems. And the last home game last weekend, they had 2 players from the second team getting their first minutes in the Bundesliga. Yeah, one of them was Luzi Zeringer, a 17-year young centre back. They don't had any players on the bench to bring. They had to bring players from the second team. So yeah, that might be a chance for us. That yeah, even if they have some players back, I think Barbara Dunst, who came from Frankfurt with an ACL, she made her first debut now on Tuesday away at Nuremberg. But anyway, she was out 7 or 8 months, and yeah, she won't have an impact on the team. So they couldn't rotate a lot in the last games, and that might be an advantage for us. That the small squad, due to many injuries, yeah, caused the remaining players to play every time 90 minutes. Georgia Stanway is the only defensive midfielder Bayern Munich still has. And Georgia is playing 90 minutes every game for Bayern Munich, for the Lionesses. And of course, she's brilliant, but maybe she will have one weaker game or something like that. Anyway, and one of the biggest strengths of Bayern, as we saw last season, is their set pieces. My Munich friends are always laughing when we compare the situation with the Arsenal men's team called Set Piece FC, and they call their women's team Set Piece FC because so many goals from corners and defenders like Vigosdottir or Magda Eriksson are scoring with a header. So we have to be very very well awake and know this. Last season we conceded goals from set piece against Bayern. On the other hand, they have a lot of problems when the opponents are pressing them high. The game last weekend was against Essen. They are on 13th position in the league, and Essen was pressing them high for the first 20 minutes. And Bayern didn't find any solution against this. They fell 1-0 behind against Essen, and then you could see that Essen couldn't play this high pressing for 90 minutes. And the more they offered more space to Bayern. Bayern came back into the game and turned things around, 1-1 and 2 more goals before halftime, and then the game was settled. So this would be, if I could give an advice to Rene, let's try to press them high. They don't like this. They find no solutions, and they make mistakes. Maybe you heard the name Momoko Tanikawa. She was the player of the tournament in this World 7 in summer. A Japanese midfielder. She's fantastic, but she had to play a more defensive role. Has Sandra Seelen Oberdorfer out? She's the double pivot with Stanway, and she made a terrible back pass, which caused the goal for Essen. So get them under pressure. They will make mistakes.
What we need to do. Yeah. What we need to do is after the game on Saturday, I think Andreas needs to go down into the changing room and speak to Rene about the Bayern game, because he knows more about Bayern Munich than what they do from all their scouting missions that they've done. That's what needs to happen, and then we'll go to Bayern Munich and we'll win, because we'll have a plan that will make sure that we win. But no, I mean, I remember last season they did score a few goals, crosses into the box and headers, and that's never been our strength anyway, has it ever, dealing with that? So we know that's going to be a problem. Obviously, Vingos Dottir is she scores a lot of headers anyway, so that's always going to be a danger. But the high press is interesting, because when we play like that, that's when we're at our best anyway, aren't we? When we press teams high, and if that's where Bayern have got weakness, then that's what we need to do. And I'm sure Rene will have it figured out anyway. I mean, I know she watches the show, so she's just got the best information that she needs. So I think that's probably is our best option to do that, and I'm sure we will try and see. But having already lost one game in the Champions League, we can't really afford to lose another one. We need a result, and I think this is a game where slightly different. I probably would be happy with a draw. I would probably. We're away from home as well against a very good side. So if it is a draw with 10 minutes to go in this game, I'll be saying, no, let's sit back and protect that draw. And that'd be a decent result. Whereas against Chelsea, it's a different set of circumstances. So I would take the draw, definitely. And it will be a tough game. Bayern are a good side. We know that. They've got some great players. I didn't realise they had as many injuries as they've got. So that's a positive maybe for us, for that point of view. If there are a few players short, that always helps, doesn't it? If they haven't got the options off the bench that we've got. So let's see there. Anyway, Greg says, I'll change Andreas's mind on Saturday. I'll convince him we'll thrash Chelsea. I'm sure you'll try. That'll be good, actually. Now, Bayern, I do think Arsenal will lose. Well, I don't know if we'll lose. India Mastiff says, can't wait. I'm going to Germany. Oh, good stuff. I'm sure you might meet Andreas there. Shirley says, Andreas, do you think letting go of Leah Walty was a mistake? Well, that's an interesting question. It looks like it at the moment. Do you think it was a mistake?
Maybe not letting Leah go, but not signing a replacement for her. That was the big mistake. I think if a player like Leah Walty says, I would like to go, and could we terminate the contract earlier, you can't say no. If a player was there 6-7 years, that's not the mistake, but we should have signed a replacement. And we underestimated this situation. This was the mistake in my eyes.
No, I agree. Yeah, I kind of think that Leah Walty leaving isn't the problem. Not replacing is the problem. Absolutely. Leah Walty wasn't getting any younger. She would have needed replacing at some point. And if she's asked to leave, then surely that's the time to look at a replacement rather than waiting until January or the end of the season, whatever. So no, I agree. Leah Walty leaving wasn't really the big issue. The issue was not replacing her, and that's why we've maybe struggled in that position. so far this season. India Mastiff says Curry versus and Chip straight after playing. I think Arsenal will beat both Chelsea and Bayern. Well, that'd be a good week, wouldn't it? Imagine if that happens. Well, next week's show is going to be good, isn't it? If we've beaten both Chelsea and Bayern, what a week that'll be. But there you go. So we shall see. John says there, I hope Bayern are going from bad to worst. Oh, that's pretty terrible. We like that one. That's good. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. LG says, I hope Rene is listening and taking notes. Yeah, exactly. We do. I think Andreas should be invited into the changing room after the game, or maybe into the office and have a little sit down with Rene and go through the Bayern Munich game, exactly what Arsenal should do. And then that's what should happen. And then we'll definitely win. If that happens, and we'll definitely win. The likelihood of that happening is probably not that great, so we probably won't win because that hasn't happened. But anyway, Greg says there, we'll do to Bayern Munich what we did to Leon last year. We win 5-1. Well, that would be something quite good, wouldn't it? I can't see that happening personally, but let's hope so. LG says, when we beat Bayern 2 years ago, especially at the Emirates, we were really aggressive in our press and they folded as a result. Yeah, we were. The Emirates game, we did it really, really well, didn't we? We really pressed them early in that game and, got a couple of great goals. Joe says, going off track, what's ever happened to Terry? Hope he's okay. Mrs. Sacramento comes. Actually, yeah, I know he was leaving. He was going off out of the country, wasn't he? Now, I hope he's okay. I don't know if he's come back into the country or if he's still abroad. But yeah, let's hope he is okay because he hasn't been in the show, has he, for a while, actually, Terry. And you're right, we do miss his sack, Rene, even though we don't agree with him most of the time. We do miss him, actually. So let's hope he is okay. I'm sure he is. And I think he was travelling about. So I'm sure he'll be back at some stage. But yeah, let's hope he's okay. I'm sure he is. But no, so yeah, Bayern Munich's going to be tough. We know that. And I personally would take a draw over there. I think that's a decent result, really. And that will set us up nicely in the group, won't it? As long as I think losing that game could be quite difficult for the next games coming up. But certainly if we get a draw or a win, fantastic. A win would be brilliant. So what's your score prediction for that one, Andreas? Obviously, Bayern Munich better than anybody. So whatever score prediction you give, it will probably be the most accurate one.
Yeah, I'll take a draw for this game. And just to say, I'm in the away section this time. I bought my ticket via the Arsenal homepage, so I'm definitely sitting with the Arsenal supporters. And one thing I forgot: a weakness from Bayern is their right side on the attacking line. On last, was it Saturday or Sunday? At halftime, we said, "Is it forbidden to play over the right side, or why don't we do this?" So of course they have Julia Gwynn, but she's going upwards and always was free and was giving signs, and nobody played the ball to her. Everything over the left side. It changed a little bit in the second half, but anyway, it was Essen, the team on the 13th place of the league. And if they struggle against a team like Essen to play on the right side, they will struggle against us also. And I hope this is one thing Rene also saw, because this was not the first time. There was the game against Jena when Bayern drew at home 0-0. They seem to ignore the right side totally. Of course, on the left side, it's mostly Pernille Harder or Clara Bull. There is more danger, more threat from this side. But it will be our right defense side. So it's Emily Fox. And Foxy has to stop Clara Bull as good as possible. And if we know that there is probably not much danger over their right side, it would be important to prepare for this. Yeah, maybe someone listens. These are things I realized, and be careful for set pieces, for corners. Normally, every corner is taken by Clara Bull, and they are always dangerous. They will score, but we will also score. So I say 1-1. I would take a draw.
Yeah, I would definitely take a draw. Absolutely. John says, Bayern have let in 8 goals in 2 games. I'll go for 2-0 to us. Well, okay. Well, there you go. 2-0 there, says John. So that's going to be a good week if John's right. But no, I would take a draw. Absolutely, I would be well happy with a draw. I think we've certainly got the capability to get a result there, and I think we need a result as well. I say, having lost to Leon, there's a little bit of pressure on us, really, because 2 defeats isn't going to be great, is it? So we need some sort of result there, and I'm sure we can get it. But I still think that what happens in the Chelsea game will have an impact in some way in terms of how we approach the game. I say, if we've lost, everyone's going to be on a big downer, and it's going to be difficult to lift ourselves again so soon. Obviously, if we beat Chelsea, then I would have no doubts that we'll definitely get a decent result in Bayern, and we could even win. If we beat Chelsea, I think the buzz and lift everyone will get, I think, could be really massive for us. But I think overall a draw would be a good result, and I'll take a draw, and yeah, that would be good. And I'm sure it'll be another good game. I mean, like we said before, these are the type of games, aren't they, that as a player you want to play in, don't you? These are the games that you want. It's all very well going to Leicester away, and that's fine, but you can't get excited about playing Leicester away. You can get excited about playing Chelsea at home and Bayern Munich away in the Champions League. That's a week to be excited about, isn't it, as a player, as a fan as well. These are games we like to see. John says there, just checked, and Barca beat Bayern 7-1. Yeah, no, but we're not Barca, are we? Although having said that, we beat Barca, so who knows? But yeah, I think we can get a draw, and that is, I say that'd be a really good result. So it's a really, really big week, isn't it? A really big week for us. Well, not even a week. The next 6 days, it's going to be massive, 2 massive games. And, we sort of mentioned last week, didn't we, about whether this block of games was going to define the season. And it's going to go a long way to looking at where we might be. But this particular week, these 2 games now are so big, aren't they? So big, because 2 defeats here now, and that would be really, really a difficult time, wouldn't it, if we lost them both? I don't personally think we will. I think we're good enough to get a result in both games. And I say a win against Chelsea, a draw against Bayern, that's a good week for me. That's a really good week. We'll take that all day long. Obviously, winning both games would be amazing, but I think that's a big ask, if I'm honest. I think to win both of these 2 games back to back would be I think that's a big ask. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it's a big ask. A win against Chelsea, a draw against Bayern, that's a good week. We'll be happy with that, and that will set us up nicely for the rest of the season, really, won't it? It keeps us back in the title race, keeps us in with a great position in the Champions League as well to certainly get through to the playoff bit of it, and go from there. But yeah, it's a big week. It's an exciting week, and I think that so far I think we've waited this season to really get going, haven't we? It's been a little bit stoppy-starty. We haven't played particularly well. We've not really got any rhythm going. We've not had too much to get overly excited about. And since the Champions League final, it's felt a little bit of an anti-climax, hasn't it, so far this season? I think it has. But this week now, we've got a real big chance, haven't we, to kickstart everything with these 2 big games, 2 big performances, 2 great results, and suddenly we're back where we need to be. But let's see. It's impossible to know how it's all going to play out at this time, but let's hope for the best, and I'm sure it's going to be a week that we'll remember, maybe for different reasons, but I'm sure it's going to be a memorable one. Obviously, it's going to be a memorable week for Andreas because he's going to be at both games, so that's even better, isn't it? So obviously you're flying tomorrow then to London, and then so when are you flying back from London? On Sunday?
No, early Monday at 7:45 on Monday, and on Wednesday then driving to Munich, and it's the early kickoff time. It's what is it, 5:45 UK time? So yeah, I'll take the train to Munich, put my bag in the hotel, and then it's close to the Allianz Arena. So and then have a walk to the arena. I'll walk together with my Munich friends, and then they go into their block, and I'll go to the Arsenal supporters. And then after the game, we will talk again, my Munich friends and myself, and yeah, there's no problem. I think it's women's football. It's no problem. You can be open with the supporters from every opposition team. So I'm looking forward to this game. It will be special. As far as I know, they have 10,000 tickets already sold. They hope for 15,000. So yeah, in the Allianz Arena, there's a capacity of over 75,000. So it will not be overcrowded or too full, but anyway, it will be a good atmosphere. But I hope that our supporters will be heard too, and will make a lot of noise and support the team. Will be something special, and maybe it's an advantage for us that we play in the Allianz Arena and not at the campus where only 2,500 and very close to the pitch. And there's more. The atmosphere is better to hear in the campus than in the arena with 15,000. So maybe a small advantage for us.
Well, let's see. Yeah, I mean, it could well be. Yeah, and I mean, we're used to playing in the big stadium anyway, aren't we? Because we play at the Emirates all the time, so we've got that experience of that type of stadium. And yeah, I mean, 15,000 would be quite good, actually, won't it? Considering, like you said, the crowds in Germany aren't nowhere near what they are in the WSL, are they? So. And Arsenal going to have a big following there anyway, and I'm sure we will make a lot of noise as we normally do. So it is going to be good. It will be a great night, and I mean they say that about the players have a lot of travelling to do, and they don't get a lot of recovery rest time in between. And Andreas is flying back Monday, going to Germany going to Munich on Wednesday. That's good, isn't it? The players moan about that, but they get a lot more rest, don't they? And stuff like that. So they don't sometimes think of what the fans have to go through. Greg says, "Don't worry, we've got the best keeper in the league." Well, of course we have. Yeah, we have got the best keeper in the league. India Mastiff says, "Arsenal will bring the noise." Indeed, they will bring the noise. Absolutely, they will. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good week, actually. When I say it's going to be a good week, we'll see how the results go first. At the moment, it feels like a good week. Maybe this time next week we won't be quite so happy about it, will we? But let's hope that we are. I think we're going to get 2 decent results. It's going to be good. But we're going to have to be at our best. We're going to have to play well. We're going to have to play better than we have most of the season. We're going to have to play like we did in the first half against Leicester, probably, or better. But no, I think we can. I think we can do it. We tend to turn up in the big games generally. We've got a good record of doing that. So let's hope we do in these 2 games. And next week, we can look back on a brilliant, brilliant week, a turning point in the season, maybe. And of course, then there's a small matter. It's the North London derby the week after, isn't it? Next weekend. So the game's coming thick and fast at the minute. It's an exciting time, so it's going to be good. But we'll worry about Tottenham next week. For now, we're going to focus our energies on Chelsea, of course, on Saturday, and then Bayern Munich next week in 2 games that could define the season. Let's hope so. Let's hope they're doing the right way. We get the right results, and suddenly everything looks a bit brighter, doesn't it? So thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you to all your comments again. Wow, fantastic as always. It's always good to have you guys in the chat. And yeah, we might be missing Terry, but we've got a lot of people still here in the chat watching us, so that's good. So hopefully you guys will stay with us, and Terry will be back soon, I'm sure. So he's probably gone quiet because we won the Champions League, and he can't say Rene out anymore, can he? Because we've won the Champions League. But anyway, I'm sure he'll be back soon. So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the show as always. Please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back, of course, on Saturday for the big one, Chelsea. I'll be here for that one. I'm going to have to rush back because we'll be at Park 1 in the morning and stuff, but we'll get back, I'm sure, in time, no problem. So we'll be here for that one. So that's going to be good. So join us for that. And of course, Andreas, I'm sure you'll have another fantastic vlog for us, won't you, from the Emirates on Sunday. That is going to be a good one. And they deserve to get 1 million views, they do. So definitely look out for that one. If you haven't seen the others, check them out as well. Andreas, obviously good to see you. So, I mean, next week we'll be okay for Friday again, won't we? Because you won't be travelling over, will you? So that'd be good. So we'll do that one on Friday next week. Obviously enjoyed the show tonight. It's been quite busy. A lot of comments as well, which has been good.
Yeah, very good show. Enjoyed it very much, and thanks for having me, and thanks to every viewer for the comments. I liked it very much to talk about 2 games like Chelsea and Bayern Munich. As you said, that's the one the players are looking for, and that's the one we supporters are looking for. We want these big games, and of course, I enjoyed the show. Thank you.
No, it's been great. Yeah, it's been great as always. I say, these are the games that we look forward to the most. The big games that have got some real meaning to them. So it's going to be an exciting week, I'm sure. Let's hope the team can embrace that as well and go out there and give us 2 good performances. We can't guarantee the team will win 2 games. They're 2 tough games. We can't guarantee that. But as long as the team go out there, play their best, give us their best, and then that's all we can ask for, isn't it? And if that's enough to get us the results we need, it'll be fantastic. We'll love it. If not, at least we can say, you know what, they gave everything for us. They did all they could possibly have done, and that's all we want to see. And hopefully it will give us the results that we need. India Mastiff says, thanks guys, hope to have a drink with you in Munich, Andreas. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You have to meet up. There could be a few people over the weekend and next week that Andreas is going to meet up with. He's going to be busy catching up with all you guys. 170 Gunner says, big up Andreas and Slick Rich. Thank you very much. Good to have you with us, all of you actually. Thanks for all your comments. It's been great. It's been a great show, of course, and it's going to be, I say, a really, really good week. So join us, of course, on Saturday for the big game. It's going to be fantastic, isn't it? I can't wait for that. It's a game it's the game I look forward to the most each season, but it's also the game I'm most nervous about because it's Chelsea, and you know it could end badly, but it won't this time. It's going to be good. We're going to enjoy it. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll be here for about 11:45 to go through the team news, look ahead to the game, and then enjoy what hopefully will be a great 90 minutes from the Emirates. That is going to be good. And of course, it'll be a Wednesday as well. Early kickoffs, that's going to be tricky to fit in around work and stuff, but I'm sure we'll find a way to watch that game. And of course, Andreas will have some vlogs for you. And then we'll be back Friday next week, looking back on hopefully a really big, important week. Great results. That's what we want to see. So thanks, guys, for watching. Take it easy. Enjoy the game on Saturday. If you do see Andreas at the Emirates, do say hello. Get on the video as well if you like. That'd be good to see you on there as well. And we'll see you on Saturday for, wow, what a game. Arsenal-Chelsea. It's coming. We're going to do it. Come on, you Gunners. Let's do this week. Big week. Let's get it done. 6 points in the bag. Lovely. We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.